be you for a kingdom. Nelly, help me to convince her of her madness. Tell her what Heathcliff is. An unreclaimed creature, without refinement, without cultivation, an arid wilderness of furs and whinstone. I'd as soon put the little canary into the park on a winter's day as recommend you to bestow your heart on him. It is deplorable ignorance of his character, child, and nothing else that makes these dreams enter your head. Pray, don't imagine that he conceals depths of benevolence and affection beneath his stone exterior. He's not a rough diamond, a pearl-containing oyster of a rustic. He's a fierce, pitiless, and a wolfish man. I never say to him, let this or that enemy alone, because it would be ungenerous or cruel to harm them. I say, let them alone because I should hate them to be wronged. And he'd crush you like a spelled Zeg, Isabel, if he found you a troublesome charm.
Now that I, tying thy glass mask tightly, may gaze through these faint smokes curling white, as thou pliest thy trade in this devil's smithy, which is the poison to poison her, prithee. He is with her, and they know that I know. Where they are, what they do, they believe my tales flow. While they laugh at me fled to the drear empty church to pray God in for them. I am here. Grind away, moisten, and mash up thy paste. Pound at thy powder. I am not in haste. Better sit thus and absorb thy strange things than go where men wait me and dance at the king's. That in the mortar. You call it a gum? Ah, the brave tree when such go losing scum. And yonder so foul the exquisite blue, sure to taste sweetly. Is that poison too? Had I but all of them, thee and thy treasures, what a wild crowd of invisible pleasures! To carry pure death in an airing, a casket, a signet, a fan mount, a filigree basket. Soon, at the king's, a melosange to kill. And Pauline should have just 30 minutes to live, but to light a pestle and Elizabeth the head, and the breast, and the arms, and the hands should drop dead.
Good evening! Everybody in? Everybody comfortable? Has she arrived? No? Oh, don't look around. She might meet somebody you don't want to. Oh, is that her? Yes? She's late. Well, I suppose she's alive, isn't she? Look, I tell you what. Look under the seats, will you? She might be there, but she's not very big. You are here to witness a historic meeting between an imperial majesty, the Queen Empress Victoria, and yours truly, Alice Lover. Alice Lover, friend of man, most frequently kicked out man in Europe, a journalist, and a managing editor of the Half Holiday. The only trouble is, she's not here. Not yet. Oh, well, it could be she. Very busy schedules, you see. Hello. What? Don't forget the gold-lacking bottle of gas. Oh, it's the vibe. Much better. Shampoo, you see. Yes. Don't worry, I won't forget. See.
I'm glad. You're no relation of mine. I will never call you aunt again. For as long as I live, I will never come to see you again when I'm grown up. And if anyone asks me how I liked you, then I will say that the very thought of you makes me sick and that you treated me with miserable cruelty. Because it is the truth. You think I have no feelings and that I can do without one bit of love or kindness? But I cannot live so, and you have no pity. I shall remember how you thrust me back, roughly and violently thrust me back into the red room and locked me up there to my dying day. Though I was in agony, though I cried out, while suffocating with distress, have mercy, Auntie. And that punishment you made me suffer? Because your wicked boy struck me, knocked me down for nothing. I'll tell anybody who asks me questions this exact tale. People think you're a good woman, but you're bad, hard-hearted, you're deceitful. You told Mr. Brocklehurst that I had a bad character, a deceitful disposition, and I let everybody at Lowood know what you are and what you've done. So, send me to school soon, Mrs. Reed, for I hate to live here.
I, Jo March, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. March, I have 3 sisters and we all are addressed as little women by our father. I always have been quite content with my family, but now I feel that I was quite quick, turning down to Laurie, who proposed me for marriage. I just feel that women have heart, mind, soul, and above all ambition, they have talent and are not just the beauties to be displayed. I really feel sick of it when people say that women are fit only for love. Just to prove people wrong, I turned down to Laurie, but today I care more to be loved than loving someone. It's hard for me to believe that I, who was always against the proposition of love and marriage, is today going to chase Mr. Frederick, love of my life, to express my feelings to him. Today I have learned one thing, that life is too short to be angry with someone. Timely, we should accept the different relations and responsibilities that come our way. We should accept the true love and value it.
That's my last touches painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that piece a wonder now. Fra Pendol's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. Will it please you sit and look at her? I said, Fra Pendolf by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance, the depth and passion of its earnest glance. But to myself they turned, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you, but I, and seemed as they would ask me, if they durst, how such a glance came there. So, not the first are you to turn and ask thus. Sir, it was not your husband's presence only, call that spot of joy to touch his cheek. Perhaps Fra Pendolf chanced to say, her mantle laps over my lady's wrist too much. A paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half flush that dies along her throat.
Good evening. Today, let me take you back to the Victorian Era. I'm Mrs. Allenby from Oscar Wilde's A Woman with No Importance. I have high standing among fashionable social circles in London. So tell me, who is an ideal man? The ideal man? Oh, the ideal man should talk to us as if we were goddesses and treat us as if we were children. He should refuse all our serious requests and gratify every one of our whims. He should encourage us to have few prices and forbid us to have missions. He should always mean much more than he says and always say much more than he means. He should have a rundown of the pretend. That would show he had no taste or make him suspect that he had to. No, he should be nice about them all, but say that somehow they don't attract him. If we ask him a question about anything, we should get an answer all about ourselves. He should invariably praise us for whatever qualities he knows we haven't got. But he should be pitiless, quite pitiless, in reproaching us for the virtues that we have never dreamed of possessing. He should never believe that we know the use of useful things. That would be unforgivable. But he should shower on us everything we don't want. He should persistently compromise us in public and treat us with absolute respect when we're alone. And yet, he should always be ready to have a perfectly terrible scene whenever we want one. And to become miserable, absolutely miserable at a moment's notice, and to be overwhelmed by just reproaches in less than 20 minutes.
Do you think I have nothing to become you? Or do you think I'm an automaton, a machine with feelings? Or do you think because I am poor and obscure and a little that I am soulless and I'm heartless? If you think it's wrong, I have a soul as you. I have much as heart. If the God gifted me a much wealth and much beautiful body, it's hard to leave you. My spirit addresses your spirit. Just as it, the both had passed through the gate, and we stood at God's feet equal. It's time to leave you. Goodbye.
Oh, it is strange. He never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. Well, he tends to grow more interesting hourly. I'm not so sure, however, that the news fills me with feelings of unmixed delight. Oh, I'm very fond of you, Cecily. I've liked you ever since I met you. But I'm bound to state that now that I know you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing a wish that you were, well, a bit older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly, I wish that you were fully 42 and more than usually plain for your age.